What a beautiful day today. I would love it for you to join me on my daily walk. Today is actually going to be the hottest day so far. They're projecting 24 degrees Celsius, which is 75 Fahrenheit. And I mean, for us, that's not spring weather, that's straight into summer. And it's so hard to believe that exactly 7 days ago, we experienced a really bad ice storm, which left thousands of people without power. Thankfully, we were okay, but most of the city was left without power for a very long time. So I'm grateful we're starting to see really nice weather. As you can see, the snow is still there. I live up north, so it's gonna take a while for this snow to melt, especially up on this hill. I'm wearing my trail running shoes. I don't know if that was the best choice, but I wanted to take this walk with speed. It was okay for the most part. I was staying on the harder part of the snow, but yeah, there was a couple times where my foot went deep down into the snow. What always gets me going are your comments about my shoes or my supposed shoes, which are actually boots. When you live in a country that sees snow for almost half of the year, you'll have companies that develop really nice looking boots that could withstand the cold and the snow. So I tend to opt for that. I don't typically go for the knee-high boots like you see in movies when people venture to Antarctica and Alaska. If I were to go on a long excursion in the snow, yes, maybe, but if I'm just shoveling my driveway or going out, anything that covers my ankles is totally fine. So this is the trail that I like to walk on when I just want a quick 10-minute walk. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes depending on the speed and if I just want to sit down and enjoy the view at the top. But this trail also breaks into dozens upon dozens of other longer trails leading to lakes and other parts of the forest which can last for hours. Kathleen and I did about 2 hours and we only scratched the surface until all those mosquitoes started eating us up. It was probably not the right time to hike. I think it was last year in July. So we're just gonna give it a couple weeks until the snow fully melts and we'll start exploring this deep, vast forest. Once it's a bit safe to run up this hill, this is going to be great training for us. This year we're doing the Spartan race again. Last year it was so intense but so rewarding. It was essentially sprinting up a mountain and doing a bunch of obstacle courses at the top and on our way down. It was harder than I expected and I didn't really train for it. We just went in as strong, healthy people and we did what we could. It was fun and we're going to attempt it again this year, but we're going to try to prepare a little bit better. But before that, actually just in a few days, we have a 10K race that we signed up to. I don't know if you've been watching our stories lately, but we've been training for a 10K race. I'm not so much of a runner. I do enjoy it, but I don't run for long distances. The most I really do is 5 kilometers. My sister and I and the family used to participate in the Run for the Cure every year. We did that 5 years straight, which was always inspiring to me. My sister, with cancer going through chemo treatments, would train for that 5K event every year. There's a lot of videos and pictures of her with her bald head crossing the finish line, exhausted, but she crossed that finish line every single year. This year we're running the 10K, not for any charity in specific. We'll definitely do that more in the fall. I'll give you more information when that time comes, but for now, these 2 races are really just for personal goals. Last year has really been a tough year for me, and obviously my fitness levels were not at its highest, understandably. So I set myself 2 goals in the form of races, and just training for these races has really lit a spark in me, so I'm having a lot of fun. We're not doing this for time or to break any records. It's just a way to keep myself accountable, stay active and strong. I'm in my late 30s and I just want to continue to grow stronger and stronger every year. And that's when you know summer is here, when the bugs start to come out. I don't know why there's a spider in the middle of the snow, but yeah. Hey, this is Kathleen and I's spot. When I say spot, this is where I proposed to her just last year. We've been engaged for almost 6 months now. And in the last half year, a lot of it has been about wedding planning. We're having a lot of fun actually. Almost everything is booked, to be honest, so we're pretty much on point. We got our engagement photo shoot scheduled next month and all those little events leading up to the actual wedding, so we're really excited. We're still looking into places to go for our honeymoon. I guess with all the important things when it comes to wedding planning, this becomes an afterthought, but it would be really nice to go on a trip right after. Italy would be our dream. We've never been, and Kathleen loves, and I mean loves, pasta. We were thinking Tuscany because we do love Tuscan wine, but more importantly for the beauty, culture, and history. And of course we were thinking of something maybe more relaxing like Bora Bora or Hawaii or something by the beach. The beach is something that we tend to chase, as you could see the images on my video right now. White sand and the ocean is not something that we see on the daily. There's just something that it does to the heart and soul being by the beach and hearing the waves crash, being in the sun. It always reminds me of my teenage years when I used to live in Sydney, Australia. That's not something I really talk about publicly, but maybe I'll share that part of my life one day. It doesn't look like it right now, but this path that I'm walking on is actually really steep. I think the wide-angle lens just makes it look flat, but I'm walking down on a hill where kids like to slide down during the wintertime. At this point, I'm really happy that I brought my trail running shoes because it has these spikes underneath, so I'm not slipping, but I am taking my time. I'm looking at the ground the whole time, not even at the camera, just making sure that I don't roll my ankle or slip or step on any dog poop. That's a habit I developed living in the city, especially during the springtime when the snow melts. It's a disaster. When you live around the condo area, I don't know what it is, but there's a lot of people that don't pick up after their dogs. That was one of the many reasons that turned me off from this city. And I wanted to go to a place that was just a lot more spacious and less, for lack of a better term, dirty, polluted. There's a lot of dog owners that walk on this trail, and to be honest, it wasn't bad at all. You know, it's a good community when people are super respectful of the path, even when no one's looking. I remember reading a passage in one of Robin Sharma's books. I think it was the Everyday Hero Manifesto, and he talks about a moment that he had one very late night or early morning when he was walking in the city, and he noticed a gentleman walking with his dog. The owner had absolutely no idea that there was anyone around, and when the dog left his business, the owner immediately picked it up and put it in the trash. And that seems like a normal thing to do as a member of society, but it is definitely the ultimate test. Maybe not always this specific case, but essentially, how do you act when no one is looking? Do you continue to present yourself with integrity, or do you only do the right things when people are looking, when you have an audience? Just like people in parking lots who return their carts after shopping and loading their car, versus people who just leave them in the middle of the parking space, making it someone else's problem, or putting your trash in the garbage and returning your trays in the food court. Definitely something to think about, but he definitely brings up some great points. The things I think about when I go on my daily walks. And I also thought about how much I really miss having a dog. Kat, Layla, and I talk about it all the time and how it would really keep me company. I stay home pretty much most of the day, but it is a lot of responsibility and I'm not sure I'm ready for that yet. Again, I've had dogs my whole life and the hardest thing is always saying goodbye when the time comes. I think that's the hardest part about thinking of owning a dog. I'm still not over my last dog and my family dog. The training, the responsibilities, I think I'll have a great time doing that. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe sometime after the wedding. I'm gonna have to speed this up because I think I have a limit of 10 minutes. I'm not too sure, but I really appreciate that you took the time out of your day to listen to my stories and go on this daily walk with me. I hope you're enjoying your daily walks as well. As my 99-year-old grandmother always says, walking is the best exercise. It's really the only exercise that she did her whole life, and she's turning 100 next month. Mind you, she doesn't do much of her daily walks anymore. She uses her wheelchair to get around long distances, but she does do some exercises from home with her nurse, and she does a couple of my exercises with my mom. And in her words, she always says, just keep moving. Movement is life. I encourage you to move today, not just watch me move, but move in your own way. Do what you can always. Have a good day.